Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. Well, today is Mario Day, March 10, the day that we like to often talk about Mario, or Super Mario, however you like to call him. And I thought it'd be a fun video to do, talk about like 5 games that include Mario in it. Because, there's a lot of great games that he's in, obviously, and a lot that came out much later than the games I'm going to be talking about. But if you watch my channel, you know that I'm more about the older retro games, vintage games, whatever they're called now. I'm more into that. I mean, I did buy my Nintendo Switch on Mario Day few years back, several years back, because they had a discount. If you bought the Switch, you got a choice of the new Mario game that was out, or it was like a half price deal thing for the games. I don't. It was a while back, but it got me to actually fork out the money to finally buy the Switch. And I ended up taking one of the Mario games. It was not the not the 3D game that I forgot what they call it. It was the one that was like basically ripped off the Wii U, I think it was on. But anyway, yeah, let's get to the 5 Mario games that or games that include Mario that I think are fun and we'll always like to talk about. So first and foremost, I have to bring out for my first choice. Again, if you watch my videos, you know I'm a big Donkey Kong fan, so let's start off where, it all began. Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong. I've always loved it. I got my start with the game on the Intellivision, fun enough. What's often referred to as one of the worst versions of the game, or ports of the game. Mainly because, the sound is wrong, the colors are wrong, the characters are wrong. That type of stuff. And even the gameplay. I mean, back when I was a kid, and I still have a box. Well, this isn't my original box, but I have my original cartridge somewhere. Back in the day when I was a kid, I didn't really care. I liked the game. I liked playing it. Yeah, I didn't like the fact that it only had the 2 levels. But again, at that time, I think my only other exposure to Donkey Kong was the ColecoVision version, which I had a friend that had this one, and it had the elevator stage. And I thought, I wish my version had that. Other than that, I wasn't too overly concerned about the fact that the graphics or the sound was not spot on to the arcade. At that time, we all knew that games were not spot on to the arcade when you bought them for your Atari or your Intellivision. So I wasn't too worried about that. But, we did get updates and stuff, through Nintendo bringing it out on the NES. This one comes with also Donkey Kong Jr., which is really cool. You get 2 games in one. And of course, Mario is in Donkey Kong Jr. as well. That was like the second one to come out, the second game to include Mario, as far as I understand. It was Donkey Kong Jr. So the second game, since we're already kind of going on that route of what came after Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers. Now this is, again, this is what would have started the revolution into the Super Mario Brothers. But this is the first time that you really get a character playing alongside with Mario and his brother Luigi. Now, technically, there is the 2 characters in Donkey Kong Jr. at the very beginning, where you see there's another Mario on the other side lifting up Donkey Kong. And you would just assume that would be Luigi. But I don't think they gave him a name at that time. Kind of like when Donkey Kong first came out, he didn't have the name Mario, he was Jumpman. But this is the Atari 2600 version. I'm showing this one because even though it's Atari 2600, I think this is a pretty good version of the game. I think it's a really good port of the game. It's fun. It's the graphics look pretty decent. Mario looks pretty good. It looks pretty spot on. The gameplay is fun. There's even a special way to play it where you can, like, literally get 1,000,000 points. Like, it is a great game. I ended up picking this one up specifically in a thrift shop. I remember, I think I paid 99 cents for it. Big bargain at that time, but I was just, like, hoarding Atari games when they were cheap. You don't really get them like that anymore. The next game was one that I've talked about before, because it was a game that I was not too familiar with, that Mario was in. And that is Wrecking Crew. Um, I stumbled upon this game. I think I saw someone put a picture or something, and I'm like, what is that? I didn't know there was another game on the Nintendo that had Mario in there, because clearly that's Mario. And so I ended up looking into it, and I realized, oh, it was an arcade. I never seen it before. I never played it before. So naturally, I jumped on this. I went on eBay and I bought a copy, and it's a fun game. It's a little challenging. It's a little different. It doesn't play like any of the Super Mario Brother games or any of the Mario Brother game for that matter. It's more like a puzzle style of game built into like a platform. It's hard to explain, but you're basically bombing doors and stuff like that, and you can go up and down. But there's like I don't even think you can even jump, if I remember correctly. So it gets a little challenging, and but a fun game nonetheless. And that's Wrecking Crew. Moving on to the next one, another game that Mario's in it. Golf. Well, NES Open Golf. I actually learned golf through Nintendo. Now, this wasn't the first one that I got. I actually got the Game Boy one, which is more like this one, Golf. And even on this one, you can see that dude kind of looks like Mario. So I don't know if that was intended. I mean, he's got the mustache, he's got the red hat. He looks a little bit taller than Mario would be. As you can see, they kind of made him proper here. But yeah, I learned golf, the rules of golf, and how to play golf by getting getting it on the Game Boy. And I don't know really why I wanted it at that time. I was a teenager. I was like, I saw the box. I'm like, I think that might be fun. And I bought it. I didn't even know how to play golf. And so it was, and by play golf, like the rules, what are a par and all that stuff, I didn't really know. I just thought this would be kind of fun. And I bought the Game Boy version. I had a lot of fun with it. I was playing it with my stepfather, and he was golfing at the time. And so I ended up, going and trying real golf, and I wasn't that good. I'll admit that. I played a few rounds. It was fun, but then I got the NES Open, and I played this all the time. It's got all the other characters in there. Eventually, you start to see other characters throughout the game, but Mario is one of your main characters, and you get to play it. I do have the N64 version of it, but I'm awful at it. I don't know why. I can't get anywhere on it. It's 3D. I don't like 3D games. I like 2D games. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But I just can't get the swing down. I can't get anything down. But this I mastered. I played it a lot. I love this. One of my more favorite games that I played on my original NES. So, rounding this up, the last choice, or the last game, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to do this one, Super Mario Brothers 3. Now, I could have picked, obviously, the first one. I liked Super Mario Brothers. I like them all. I mean, I can't really sit there and say, this one's better than that one. I mean, nostalgia comes in with the first one. When I first saw the game on my friend's Nintendo, I didn't have a Nintendo at the time. I was so jealous that looking at him being able to play this Super Mario Brothers game that looks so amazing. And I'm like, I had no way to play it, and I just loved it. Every time I was at his house, I wanted to play Super Mario Brothers. But after a while, when the second one came out, and you got this kind of different gameplay, I kind of liked the second one. I liked it. I liked how it was different. I liked how it upgraded Mario to be able to do different things. But I felt 3 is where they took those two games and blended them together and made an even better game. They built up so much hype with this game because of the Wizard movie that came out. And that was when Super Mario 2 was still on the shelves, and they introduced Super Mario 3 through this movie with what's his face? Can't remember his name now. It was great. It was okay. It was when you were a kid, you're watching it, and you're like, wow, Super Mario Bros. 3. I got to have that game. And then they were like, it's part of the advertising campaign, and they released it. And I remember renting the game because obviously at the time I couldn't just fork out that kind of money. and it was hard to rent even at the time because a lot of people wanted it. So calling up the rental store, trying to reserve a copy of it. And of course, for me, when I rented it, the first time I rented it, I brought it home and found out that we were going out to my grandmother's house. And I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I want to play a game. And my father kind of scolded me. And I didn't get much play of it. So I ended up having to rent it again. And I think I stayed up all night with my friends playing it. Like, we did not shut off the Nintendo. We were just playing it straight through the night. I don't even think I completed it. I think we got to like level 6, 7, somewhere in there. I don't know. But, you know, still a lot of fun. Very, very nostalgic, and still one of the games that I like to go to and play. So yeah, those are my 5 Mario games that I like, or games with Mario in them, because, you know, I don't know if you'd consider this a Mario game. This is a golf game, but Mario's in it. Anyways, I'd like to hear what you have to say with your choices. Well, not hear you, but down in the comments below, what you like, what your favorite games are with Mario in it. I'm sure there's a lot of them I could have brought up from, you know, systems that came way after Nintendo NES, but, you know, I like the old stuff. Anyways, let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. Happy Mario Day for those watching it today, and we'll see you next time.